We have just completed drawing the eye from straight on, and now we are ready to do the profile eye. I've got my gear right here, which is all my drawing pencils, and I've got this pencil for its little eraser on the end. This I like to do for line drawings. Of course, this is a HB, which is a number 2, but it's the same as an HB pencil. I've also got a shading stump and tissue, and I even like to use a Q-tip on occasion. Graphite stick, my erasers, and even my Micron 8 pen. I've gotten to draw my reference lines. It's just a little bit easier to see. So I try to keep these nice and vertical and straight, horizontal and straight. Why choose those locations? We could choose any number of locations really, but this one we chose because it's going straight through the pupil, and there too through the pupil. We could put others if we wanted to, but this is adequate. So I'm going to draw those same, I'm working underneath my other eye here. I'm going to draw those same reference lines, nice and light. They're going to have to be erased later. Try to keep them nice and straight. Okay, now let's find a couple of locations that are pretty critical. And I think that's right there, right at the top of the lid where it meets the lashes. Right here in the corner of the eye. This part's a little bit nebulous. So maybe we can go right at the bottom of the iris. Right on our reference line would be a good place. I'm also going to want this one where the lid comes back. It's a good one. Maybe about right there where the lid folds then into the back of the eye. Right there on the front of the iris. Probably on the end there of the lashes. Okay, I'm going to start, I think, with this upper lid because it's so dominant and the lashes are covering up this iris. Although that would be a good start too. In fact, maybe I'll do that. I'm going to come from the top of the lid there to my reference line. Measure. Measure. Now bottom. Watch how I transfer this. Right, so I put it on and then I come with my other nail down to there and then I can transfer right at the edge of my nail. I'm double checking that. Okay. So it's not straight up and down there on that side. About like that. Now, how far it comes out. There. And now I'm going to complete the lens on the front of the iris there. And I think I'll do the pupil too while I'm here. I'm not guessing, I can be really accurate, so why not? Why not be really accurate? as far as its location. Pupil is this elongated ellipse. It's going to be quite black eventually, but not yet. So I'm going to leave it. Okay, iris, pupil, looks kind of weird. It's all right, not done yet. In fact, I think I'm going to soften that line just a little bit because it's not very dark. It's like a 3-ish. Flatten it out just a little bit. Okay, now let's go for that upper lid. Kind of rectangular that narrows as it comes down. I find that point and that point. About there. Now over. Kind of curves down like this. Now that one. Move over a little bit here. Accuracy is about good measuring, frankly. Good reference lines, good reference points, and then measuring properly. This line is pretty straight. Notice that little shadow, how it goes up right there. That's nice. Okay, now let's get the bottom of this eye. It goes from here to there, and it appears mostly straight. Wow, how about that? Come down a little bit more. It's kind of a line down here, right there. I want to mark where this point is, where that lash comes out, because if I'm not careful, I'll make it too small, or maybe too big. There it is. I'm going to put just a hint of a lash right there so that I know where to go, where it's going to go to. These upper lashes, right? These are all pretty detailed, but I think I want to keep most of these later for details. But I need to know where they're at, and I think I might want to put, no, I don't think I'm going to include them with my general value. They'll be details. That's how far that upper lash comes. And it comes down all the way to there. Okay, that's my line drawing, right? First we do the line drawing. This one was a whole lot easier than that one up there. There's just less of it. 2, we're going to do our general value. And then 3, we'll do the details. So we've now done the line drawing. Now let's go to the details. To get there, let's erase all of our reference lines first. They're going to get us in trouble. You know, I think I'm going to put in the nose there too, at least the front of the face. It wasn't going to, but now I think I will. That's the bridge of the nose. Now you can use any eraser to pull these off, but I do still need to be careful not to burnish the paper. That is, press on it too hard. The kneaded eraser doesn't let you press on it very hard, so it's a good one to use. The pink erasers do. White erasers like this one do a lot. Okay. Now let's put in some value. I'm going to go first with that pupil. Just knock that thing out of there and make it dark, dark. I've got an extra paper here to put. Good habit to keep my hand on this. I'm using my 8B. And I'm going to use the graphite stick. To do the iris. Now you'll notice that there's like no 5s. I mean no 1s, excuse me. 5s are the pupil and the lashes, and there's some 4s in the lashes, 3s here. Skin, most of the skin is kind of a 2, although this is, the whites of the eye is not white, as white as the paper. No highlights on this eye. So we could impose a white into the white of the eye, and maybe we can do that. We use our artist prerogative. I'm going to apply some graphite though so that I can use my tissue and I don't know, at least get some. Q-tip, soften that up. And I do have a little bit of lead on my tissue from my previous drawing. We can maybe use that to our advantage. All of the skin has value on it. I don't see really any strong highlights or 1s. So that's what I'm going to do. All the way out to the nose there. So, you know, that's pretty light, but it's not white. There's white. This white of the eye, I think I'm going to drop the value just a little bit. Not a crisp line up there, but it's a bit of one. Maybe a little harsh. Erase those away. Make that pupil pretty relatively crisp there. I'm using my 2B to do that, and the iris has a little more value, so I'm going to add some. Try using the shading stump, see if I can get a little more detailed. Not super crisp right there. It's kind of soft. All of it's kind of soft, right? The thing that's sharp, where it's not blurry, a little bit soft, is probably the eyelashes, and that's about what we're ready to put in, I think. Okay, I'm going to use my 6. So we have just completed the general value. And now I'm moving on to detail, which are going to include mostly the lashes. So I've got a 6B. And I'm going to notice where the eyelashes come from, right? From the lid, right there near the end. And there's big, long lashes, so I'm going to have to carry that out quite a ways. And, right, notice the flick. It's kind of all one stroke. Can do it. Remember, they kind of come in clumps, and very heavy up in here. In fact, I'm going to even use some of my shading stump to kind of soften those at the base and just get some dark value. Maybe layer a little bit of 8B in there. Yeah, I like that. In fact, I might go sharpen this 8B just so I can get some darks out of that. All the way down into there, covering the iris. Series of kind of flicks. Even right there. Some solos. And the corner there has just a little, some subtle darker value, and I want to get that in. Q-tip might take care of that. Okay, here's my upper lashes. Now the lower lashes, and they're coming from there. Very soft as it wraps around the eye. In fact, I'm gonna take my shading stump and see if I can't soften those a bit. And then here, look how it kind of comes up and then curves down, up and down. I'm going to see if I can erase that line that I made. Right, we believe in making edges, not outlines. So I'm going to see if I can do that here. Get rid of that soft, even though it's a soft outline, I don't think it belongs right there. And I think I can erase it away. Yeah. That's nice. Use the shading stump to define that edge. All right. That is the end of that.